ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः। Today I would like to share with you the meaning of the 5th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And the name of this chapter is Sannayasa Yoga, or it is also called as Karma Sannyasa Yoga. In the 3rd chapter, Arjuna asked Lord Krishna, you explained about jnana, knowledge, and you also explained about karma. So tell me definitely, conclusively, which one is better for me? And for that, Bhagavan Krishna said, one must have attained knowledge, and be established in the self, at the same time perform any action without attaching to the action or to the result of the action. And he gave the example of Janaka Maharaj. So like that he had doubt. And the next chapter, chapter 4, Bhagavan Krishna explained very clearly about the action, inaction, and this knowledge is very ancient. And he explained about the mind of the jnani. He will accept whatever comes to him. He won't take any effort to satisfy his bodily needs or for his desires. Whatever comes to him, he will accept, because he is always established in the bliss of the self, which is infinite. And he also said that he will see everything, all the action or everyone, the object, everything as Brahman only. And he gave the example of yajna. Hearing all this, again, Arjuna had doubt. He asked Bhagavan Krishna, which one is better for me? Is renunciation of action itself, or doing the action as the yoga? So that doubt, this chapter begins with the doubt of Arjuna. Let us see what Arjuna asked and what Bhagavan Krishna gave reply to his question. Arjuna uvacha sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogancha shamsasi yachreya yetayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. Sannyasam karmana, that is complete renunciation of action. And just like the jnani, can I always be established in the self, renouncing all the action? Or yogam, that is doing, yoga means doing the action as yoga, that is doing karma yoga, not attached to the action as well as to the result of the action. I do this action because I have to do it, or as my duty I am doing this action, or I am doing it for the sake of Lord, or I am doing it for the society, for any one reason, not for me. I am doing this, I have to do this action, any action. So tell me, so bruhi sunischita, conclusively, definitely tell me, Krishna, which one is better for me at this point of time? Is it to renounce the action completely, or to renounce the result of the action or attachment to the action? Is it sannyasa or karma yoga? Which one is better for me, Lord Krishna? He asked Bhagavan Krishna. And Bhagavan Krishna replies, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasam Karma Yogascha Nishreya Sakara Ubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate. That is, renunciation of action, sannyasa. Karma yoga, yoga of action, that is, one is sannyasa and the other is the karma yoga. Karma sannyasat karma yogo vishishyate. That is, renouncing of the action completely, that is one thing, and doing the action as the yoga. Definitely karma yoga is best, is supreme than sannyasa. So Bhagavan Krishna, he is telling that the karma yoga is supreme than this. That is, vishishyate means superior than the sannyasa, complete renunciation of action. Because Arjuna is standing in the center of the war field and he is asking this question. If he doesn't do the duty and immediately if he go renounce everything and go to sannyasa, is it right? Not only that, if a person has some responsibility, then he has to do it. How he will do it? As a yoga, without attached to the action or attached to the result. He has to do it for the sake of doing the action or for the sake of God. He cannot just live like everything like that and take sannyasa. So here Bhagavan Krishna is telling that more than sannyasa, doing the any action as yoga is the best, and he will explain more about it. Now, before going any further, what is sannyasa? What does Bhagavan Krishna mean by sannyasa? The meaning of the word sannyasa is nyasa means leave everything definitely. Just drop everything. Leaving everything definitely. Sannyasa. San means good. Leaving everything for good. So, sannyasa means just leaving everything for the good for that person. So, that is the meaning of sannyasa. And sannyasa means it is not physical sannyasa. Renunciation means not renouncing the object physically. That we all do at many times, even when we do not have we do not have place to keep some objects in our home. We just renounce it. But after some time, we will buy that same thing again. So that is one renunciation. That's not Bhagavan Krishna. Renunciation or sannyasa means not that. One has to renounce everything mentally. By mind, one has to renounce. Or otherwise, when the right situation or the right circumstance come, if there are impressions in our mind about that sense objects or the worldly life itself, then when the right circumstance and situation comes, our mind will be automatically attached to it. Then what's the meaning of sannyasa? So renouncing everything means one has to renounce their possession, wealth, status, education, everything for the sake of God. The next, another thing is, important thing is one has to renounce all the relatives and friends. Relatives includes parents, children, if they are married, spouse, siblings, the whole entire family, friends, everything, mobile phones, everything they have to renounce mentally. And other thing is in the sannyasa, when the brahmacharis when they take sannyasa, there is a ritual in sannyasa order that they have to burn their own body. They have it's a ritual like that. They have to renounce their own old body, and what the body they have is their new body. So they have to do all the antya karma for their body. They just do rituals like that, and what which implies that what the body they have now is the new body, that is body for the sannyasa. What all they have experienced but that old body which came with them during birth time itself, from the birth time itself, that itself they have renounced. Now they are taking in their new body. So that deep is sannyasa. And in the Sanatana Dharma, sannyasa is given as said as the fourth order, the last order. First is brahmachari ashrama, grahastha ashrama, vanaprastha ashrama, and then only sannyasa ashrama. If one has experienced enough of grahastha life or vanaprastha life, then if the need comes, they can take sannyasa. In this context, I would like to explain that there are two types of sannyasa. One is the sannyasa that is taken by the jnanis. That is, jnanis means They attain Atmajnana. They go to a guru, attain knowledge, and they attain Atmajnana. And they practice Atmajnana. And they practice it for some time, they will be in the Brahmanishta. So the Grahastha way of life or any other ashrama, that will not support them to be in that Brahmanishta itself. So when they experience once the self, when they have tasted it again and again, they want to be in that state of Brahman. So for that, the way of life or the order of life or the Grahastha way of life, that may not support them. So they take sannyasa. So this is called that's the Vidvat sannyasa, Vidvat sannyasi. One of the example or a perfect example for this type of sannyasa is sage Yajnavalkya. He was a grahastha and he had two wives, Maitreyi and Katyayani. And at one stage, he felt enough of family life. So I want to be established in the self itself, and the grahastha way of life does not support it. So he went into the deep forest and he remained in that stage of Brahmanishta itself. So this type of sannyasa people take after attaining Atmajnana. They will be in the Grahastha they attain Atmajnana, and after that they go to sannyasa. This is very rare, only 1 or 2% of sannyasis are like that. The other type of sannyasa is to practice sadhana chadushtaya, that is to practice the control of the mind, control of the senses, controlling everything. To practice that as a sadhana, they take sannyasa. So this is in this one has to have a very clear understanding about sannyasa. Once when we enter in the life of sannyasa, then we cannot return back. Some people, due to their problems in their family life or because they are fed up with the way of they live here, they take sannyasa without understanding what sannyasa is. Or due to circumstance, or some people will push them because that ashrama they want some people, or because many people in their family have taken sannyasa, so they are compelled to take sannyasa. So when they take sannyasa, they also without no other option, or because they have some little problem in their family life, they take sannyasa. They cannot, sometimes they go to faraway places, they go to the ashramas, or they go to the mountain ranges like Himalayas or any other places. They hardly can stay in that way of life, order of life, for more than 6 months or 1 year. So after that, they cannot return back to the grahastha life. The society will not accept them, or they will have inhibitions, and they cannot continue in that life also. So many sannyasis are there like that, whose lives are spoiled by compulsion to take sannyasa. So there is no hurry to take sannyasa. Any order of life will not give moksha or liberation. It is the jnana that gives liberation. Whatever way you want to be, you can be. You can take sannyasa or grahastha life or brahmacharya life, whatever way a person can be, he can be. The point here is we must acquire Atmajnana. When that Atmajnana reach a level of saturation, then automatically we will leave everything. We will not have interest for any worldly life, or because we have tasted the glimpse of it. And so our concentration will not go anywhere. So this type of sannyasis, that to practice control of the mind and the control of the senses, they cannot do that in the grahastha life. So they take sannyasa as a practice, as a sadhana. In worldly life, we see that some children they study in universities, and they may be coming from far away villages, so they every day they cannot travel and study the course, so they go to hostel or dormitory, or they stay in the friends or relatives house in the city or near the university, and continue their education. So here the point is continuing the education, and not whether staying in hostel or coming from the home every day. That's not important. So just like that, sannyasa way of life or grahastha way of life or brahmachari way of life, vanaprastha, nothing is important. Atmajnana is important. So one can acquire knowledge in any stage of life. If they don't feel comfortable in the grahastha way of life, then they can take sannyasa. Everything will give the same result. If we are a grahastha, then karma yoga is the best. So for Arjuna at this stage of life, in the middle of the warfield, leaving everything, all the responsibilities, and going to the going to take sannyasa or taking sannyasa is not right. So for him, karma yoga is the best. So that's why Bhagavan Krishna saying karma yoga is the best. And now Bhagavan Krishna is telling about sannyasa. So what type of sannyasa is he telling? Is he telling about the first type of sannyasa where the jnani had to continue in that state, they take sannyasa? Is it that first type of sannyasa? Or the second type of sannyasa which the students of Atmajnana take to practice sadhana sadhishtaya? Which one is Bhagavan Krishna referring to? Bhagavan Krishna is definitely referring to the second type of sannyasa. That is the sannyasa taken to practice Atmajnana. Because he is comparing this sannyasa with karma yoga. That first type of sannyasa is the supreme sannyasa. That is, they attain Atmajnana, and to be established in that state of mind itself, they take sannyasa. That is one type, different. But this Bhagavan Krishna is telling them about the second type of sannyasa, that is Vidvidishi sannyasa. That is the second type of sannyasa, and he is comparing it with karma yoga. And Bhagavan Krishna says that at that stage of time or life, for Arjuna, sannyasa is not right, karma yoga is right. So karma sannyasat, completely renouncing the action, karma yoga vishishyate, that is supreme. Karma yoga is supreme. In the third shloka of chapter 5, Bhagavan Krishna says, Jnaya sa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati nirdvandho hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. So Bhagavan Krishna in this verse, this shloka, he is telling, na dveshti, a person who doesn't hate anything, na kankshati, who doesn't desire anything, nirdvantaha, a person who has crossed over the dualities, he has no pain or suffering or no happiness, no heat or cold, nothing. He has passed over the dualities of nature or anything, and he doesn't react to anything. He is the Nitya Sannyasi. He is the always a sannyasi. And for him, no karma binds him. He is free from all actions and no karma binds him. He is the Nitya Sannyasi. So he doesn't have any desires, or he is free from all the bondages, because sannyasa means, many people we have seen people in some religious places in India, that they will sit there and waste their life. One should not take sannyasa like that. That is what I said. Some people take sannyasa out of compulsion, or some people they do not know what the way of sannyasa life is. Without knowing anything, just in a hurry they take sannyasa. They might have faced some family problems, so they take sannyasa. So all that will not help that person. So they will be ruined by taking sannyasa. So a person even in grahasthasrama, if he doesn't have any particular desires or doesn't hate anything, he has the equality of mind, then he is the nitya sannyasi, and he is free from all the bondages. So a karma yogi does all that. So I have seen many social activists. They go to do service in a place. Some people sometimes they may be insulted in that situation or that place, but they just don't care. They just shrug off, just like the dust on their shoulders, and they'll go to the next place and do the same thing. Even I have seen some people from some ashramas, they're selling Bhagavad Gita and all that, some granthas in the common junctions to people. So some people they just ignore them. Some people they insult them. Some people they accept that accept the books or their purchase. So they are not concerned about anything. They just don't mind about anything because they are doing it as a service for God. So when a person has that type of mentality, what order of life is not important, Atmajnana is important. In the next shloka, that is in the shloka 4, Bhagavan Krishna says, Sankhya Yoga Pradagdhalaha Pravadanti na Pandhitaha Yeham Abhyasthita Samyak Ubhayor Vindate Phalam. Sankhya means here it is the Atmajnana, and yoga means karma yoga. So a person practicing karma yoga and the Atmajnana, they both give the same result because they both lead to moksha. Atmajnana or karma yoga or bhakti, they only purify the mind. Actually, Atmajnana bloom in us automatically if our mind is pure. The obstacle is the mind, because for so long time we have accumulated so much of impurities in our mind. We have assumed ourselves as a so and so, and we have imagined ourselves as so and so, and we have nurtured our ego and false our false identity. So it is very difficult to remove only that. If that is removed at any time, that Atma Jnana will bloom in us. It will directly awake in us. It will directly bloom in us. Atma Jnana is nothing else. It is knowing about our own self. Now we have assumed ourselves as something else. So it is difficult for us to shift that consciousness from that false identity to the real identity. That's all the difficulty and difference, everything. So whether it is Sankhya, that is knowledge, or whether it is Karma Yoga, or whether it is Bhakti, or whether it is Patanjali's Yoga, they all purify the mind. The phala is same, that is moksha. Atmajnana, some people they will be interested in attaining knowledge. They will be interested in reading, Shravana, Manana, and all that. So for them, Atmajnana is suitable. And for some people, they will be interested to do service. They will be very active. They cannot sit in the place and meditate. And for them, Karma Yoga is suitable because they will do it as a service. Even if a person attain Atma Jnana, he will understand that doing service, at one stage he will do service also. He will understand that this dissolves the ego in us, and he will feel that everything is same. And a person following the Karma Yoga also, at one stage when they do service with the equality of mind, at one stage they will leave off their ego, and automatically this Atma Jnana will come to them. They will begin to understand the self. So both of them, they mix here and there, and so they are not different. For some people this is suitable, and some for the other they are the karma yoga is suitable, but they all are same and they go to that same, give the same results, that is moksha. A person doing karma yoga, when he perform that karma yoga with devotion, as a doing this action for Bhagavan and doing this for the society, at one stage all his desires will be nullified and he attains a chitta shuddhi, that is purity of mind. A person who go for knowledge, that is atma jnana also, that also will automatically purify his mind, and all his desire will be nullified after a certain stage. It won't happen in the beginning, and there is no hurry also. Some people, they just go in a hurry and say that next we may or may not get the next janma, so we have to rush toward to attain moksha. It's good, but if it happens, it's good, but not, one should not leave it in the middle. So when a person begin to attain atma jnana, it will continue till he attains that knowledge, till he attains that stage, that is the state of Brahman. So both of them, the Sankhya and the Karma Yoga, they both give the same result, that is moksha. That's what Bhagavan Krishna very clearly explained in this verse. And some people think in the beginning stages it may feel that it is different, but when we advance to a certain level, or both that will mix into one, because the karma yogis, they feel they automatically, after purifying their mind, they automatically, the atma jnana will come in them. And the people who go after atma jnana, at one stage they will not have any desires, and they will automatically get the equality of mind and to do action for the sake of God. So they are not different, they are one. That's what Bhagavan Krishna says. The next shloka, that is shloka 5, is Yat sankhya prapyate sthanam tadyogairabhigamyate yekam sankhyan cha yogam cha yapashyati sa pashyati. Bhagavan Krishna is telling that the sankhya, that is the atma jnana, and the yoga, they both give the same result, and they both give the same sthana, that is the state of mind or the place reached. They both will be same. And a person who sees the Sankhya, that is the Atma Jnana, and the renunciation of action, or the Karma Yoga as the same, he see it rightly. Yap pashyati sa pashyati. That is, he who see both of them as equal is the one who see it rightly. If they see it differently, then he is not seeing it right. So some people's mentality, they will accept the jnana, that is the sankhya, that is atma jnana, and they will have interest to do shravana, manana, and nididhyasana. So they take that path. And some people, they will be interested in doing service and karma yoga. They will have that mentality to do service. They will also reach the same state. They are not will not get this different result. The result is always same, that is moksha or liberation. Bhagavan Krishna here gives a lot of importance for karma yoga, and he says it is that superior among both, that is the sannyasa, and if karma yoga, if you take, that is karma yoga is the superior. So these are the words of Bhagavan Krishna, and I have completed up to sloka 5 of chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita. The rest of the shlokas I will continue in my next video. Yatra yogeshwarah Krishnah, yatra पार्थो धनुर्धरः तत्र श्रीर्विजयो भूतिर्ध्रुवा नीतिर्मतिर्मम। ॐ श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।